Hey there, Christina here with Ginger Mama Tarot, coming at you with your Cancer Extended July Tarotscope. This is specific for masculine energy. And when we talk about feminine and masculine energy, we all hold both. However, on our spiritual and healing journeys, most of the time, we are imbalanced in one or the other. And so, if you're someone who's more avoidant in a relationship, avoidant, you tend to ghost or run away when there's intimacy and just hide out by yourself and isolate, you are likely more of a masculine energy. If you're someone that's more codependent or anxiously attached, gets very, I need to know what's going on, you're more of an imbalanced feminine energy. So I have a separate Cancer Tarotscope for feminine energy and what they need to know right now. Both of these energies are awakening, and as the feminine energy awakens, a lot of the masculine collective is right there. And so the majority of my readings are for people in relationship dynamics, but it doesn't have to be. Oftentimes these apply to everyone in some way. So as I was channeling for you, divine masculine energy cancers this month, which by the way, happy birthday, happy Cancer season. I was picturing someone on like a jet ski or a four-wheeler or a motorcycle. Like there's air around you, right? And you're just going forward, like full force. But it's almost like, it's like this freeing feeling that you're feeling. But it's almost like you're going too fast. Like you need to slow down and like really look around and get real with yourself. Because I think some of you, yeah, the Five of Cups coming out, some of you are avoiding sitting in grief or pain or sadness. I think especially for masculine energy, it is told to you since you're very young, and I apologize that society has done that to you, but told to you that you can't express these feelings. And by the way, I want to remind everyone, you can be more imbalanced in your masculine energy and in a female body, or vice versa, okay? So when I say society has done that, yes, they do it more to male bodies, but they also, this happens to females all the time, or when you were growing up, people just didn't want your emotions around, so they were like, go. But I think what you need to do is be a little bit more vulnerable with the people around you. Like, it's okay to shed some tears. It's okay to show an emotion around others. It lets them know you're human. Like, you don't want to come across cold. And obviously, we don't want to be too emotional. We want to be balanced. But balancing that, I feel like there's some sadness there. The Devil reverse, this tells me you've been working hard on breaking an addiction or an unhealthy habit. It could be a sexual, partner or multiple partners. And if you haven't, you're being called to do that this month. I want to point out too that what was I going to say? A couple dates here this month that might be important to you, especially the full moon we have coming up on the 13th of July. It's going to be in Capricorn, and Capricorn and Cancer placements both are cardinal energies, which is moving forward. I'm in Aries, I'm a cardinal energy as well, but it's that wheelhouse of the next thing, right? And so I do think if you can take time at the beginning of the month to grieve whatever this is, because understand, even if we know we broke or ended something that was dark in our lives, there's still grief around how we used to operate or do something. Do you know what I mean? And so process that grief. And I feel like by the 13th with that full moon energy, you're going to be feeling more of that drive. And yeah, the Hermit here, this is great. This is what you need to do. The beginning of the month, sit in Hermit, process some of these emotions, really let them out. Okay, I hear a helicopter going off. I always take that as like the universe confirming, spinning that beautiful energy around us. But the Knight of Wands, as you approach that Capricorn moon, you're going to feel this drive to take an action. You're going to be like, okay, now I'm going towards the next step in my life. And I'm not sure what that will be. Only you know. Let's see if the cards say more. But take it, okay? But I will caution you on this. Make sure the action you're taking is in alignment. Like, these cards are reversed, telling me that you're struggling with following your intuition, your sacral chakra, your gut intuition. Part of the reason masculine energy struggles so much with this is because they use this air sign, King of Swords energy, they use their logical mind so much that society has told you that, right? Like, you have to reference a textbook, you better talk about that professor at school, or like the boss, or whatever it might be. We've been told we need the elites, the higher than us people to prove what we're saying is true. And understand that truth arguably is what people believe, right? And obviously, clearly, more people are awakening and believing in themselves and in God and source. In the Bible, it says truth is God. That is how it is defined. And please keep in mind, we have in God we trust on our money, we have it on our license plates. In God we trust, we swear on the Bible to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's just fascinating when you look at it from that logical way, right? We have that everywhere. So you can believe in your intuition. Tap into that high priestess vibe. And this air sign is someone who can be very decisive. They're like, that is what I want. And I know it's not going to make that much sense to those around me, but it's going to make me happy. And it's what I want. And follow that. That Knight of Wands rushes in and is like, I've made up my mind, you know? So I love that for you. I feel like that might be occurring. And by the way, if it is anything to do with love, we have Venus in Cancer on the 17th. And that's going to be like a time, I just feel like it could be such a romantic time for people. Like this like emotional vulnerability, like, but like super sexy and cute. I'm just saying. I know some of you need to reflect on that too. What's romance? What's passion? Ace of Wands here. This card's all about major passion, awakenings, new beginnings. Have you really experienced romance? Have you given romance to someone else? Because sometimes we're like afraid to do that because it's vulnerable, right? But I challenge you, especially if you're in a relationship, to really tap into that, okay? And don't feel silly, don't feel dumb. It's beautiful, okay? Whoever this is, I think it's gonna be received very, very well. Okay, so Knight of Cups going forward. I also feel like some of you are going to propose. That's just coming in. I don't know who you are, but like some of you are going to propose, and that would be a really great time to do it around the 17th if you're thinking about this. I mean, you might have, I feel like you were thinking maybe 4th of July because of family or something, but you might want to postpone that till the 17th. I don't know why, but that's up to you. That's just like a side thing. But anyways, justice here, like I feel like you're really going to feel balanced, and like this relationship, whoever you're considering right now with this, I feel like it's going to be equal give and take in all of this. But right now, what you need to do, Cancers, is the next couple weeks focus on surrendering any insecurity here. Surrender any insecurity because we feel so insecure. And understand, feminine energy does too. They feel insecure in being vulnerable, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I've tried this before and it never worked out and it was so hard. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. A lot of people have had previous connections in their lives, family, friends, lovers, where they were vulnerable with someone and they were made fun of. And I mean, you think of men too. It's like, you know, you show an emotion around the guys and you get, you know, made fun of or whatever. And that's not okay, guys. We don't want to live in a world like that. And clearly we don't all need to be running down the street like screaming, crying, whatever. We need logic, right? But we need balance here. The world has become so skewed where it's one or the other. And I keep channeling today. I just feel like romance has been like out the window. And I'm like, we need that. Like this sweet old school, like I picture like a picnic or like a park bench. I don't know. Are you guys looking for like romantic ideas here? Like a city date night? I don't know. Some high view maybe? I don't know if that's a hotel or like dinner or I don't know. Think about this though. Really think about this. And think about not just what would this person like, what would I like, right? Like what would you like? You know what I mean? So anyways, slow down at the beginning of this month, okay? Please pump the brakes. And by the way, if any of you are still engaged in situations where you have multiple partners or you're dating lots of people, I really think if you could pull back from that for a couple of weeks and just stop communicating, just stop any sexual energy and pull into yourself, you're going to feel a massive shift even in 2 weeks. You really are. And look at this Emperor. I love this. I feel like you're really surrendering to yourself, to who you know you are meant to be. I do think there might be some doubt here though, like whoever this person is, and it doesn't have to be a proposal, you guys, that came in separate, but maybe it could be you want to ask someone out, or it could be a connection that it was no more, but you want to try again. Again, you never know unless you try. And I think the saddest thing is seeing people get to a place where they don't even try and then they live with that regret. I mean, that's pain. That's pain. I'm someone who it's like I always try my best just to say what it is I want, what I think, what I feel, and it doesn't always work out, right? But you can't let that fear stop you because many times it does. And I feel like this is a fear. And again, address that fear block over the next 2 weeks before we hit the middle of the month, and you're going to have a lot more confidence. Address that fear. Be like, you know what? No, like I know the truth of how I feel in this connection. I know I'm being genuine and honest, and I'm going to go for it, okay? because this feels good. Like I feel so calm in this reading. I feel so calm, Cancers. Like I love this. I want to like, I don't know. Like it's like I feel like this ball of like just love. And I'm like, this is the masculine read. This is different than the feminine read for sure. And by the way, if you know your person's sign, feel free to go watch their reading and maybe you get an idea of where they are this month as well. But you're not, and if you are, please make sure you're out of mental self-limiting beliefs, okay? You don't want to do that. That's not how, yeah, it's like I had written down here earlier, just about also music, art, gardening, again, that water energy, the jet ski, the pool, like doing things like that, really grounding yourself and being compassionate with yourself and with others, but realizing your job is not to save other people or be there emotionally for them all the time. You need to be there emotionally for you as well. And clearly, if there's a feminine energy involved, you really care about them as well. But yeah, don't get too hung up in the past. I feel like some of you this month, you really run this risk. If you do not address these past wounds and insecurities and fear, let's call it what it is, right, around previous connections, then you're going to have a difficult time. The universe will continue to put pressure on all of us until we're able to release these blocks and these fears, these insecurities. And ask yourself what that is. Is that an insecurity of someone cheating on you? Like, yeah, how did they break your heart? Is it an insecurity of someone cheating, someone using you for your finances, someone lying to you, someone just abandoning you or rejecting you? What is that insecurity? And maybe journal about it, write about it. And any of those insecurities you can also burn, which a great time to do that would be right around that full moon on the 13th. To just release that, to say, no, this was the past. This is not who I am. This is not who this person is. I release all fear and insecurity, worry, doubt, shame, guilt, all of it. I'm burning it. I'm giving it to the universe. I'm telling you, I do this all the time around moons, and it is such a powerful exercise. I firmly believe in it. So don't feel silly. Look, the hand of God confirming. It's the Ace of Pentacles. This could also mean you have a lot of money coming this month. For some of you, or maybe you're spending a lot of money if some of you are proposing or doing a fancy romantic date. But either way, the Ace of Pentacles here through those gates, I always take this as the hand of God going through to New Earth and going through to something you've never experienced. Many people have never really been in a conscious, committed connection. And when we talk about commitment, please understand, Divine Masculine, what we're talking about is two people saying, okay, I'm committed to this dynamic. You're kind of like my ride or die. However, if in the future, there is a dynamic we want to adjust, then we're going to talk about it openly. I talk to a lot of masculine energies who want the option of like an open marriage or an open relationship or being with someone else sexually. And again, that's not a no-go, but what is a no-go is if you're not able to always show up and clearly communicate. And that's why oftentimes that cannot occur in the beginning of a relationship. You need to prove to yourself and to this person, and this person to the same to you, that you can be honest and consistent in your communication style. And once that trust is built in both of you, it's very easy to have a genuine conversation. And this might be someone who's not okay with that, right? Or you're not okay with that, and that's fine too. But the point is we can find partners and have partners like that. But if we're not able to communicate clearly and we just try to skirt it under the rug, it gets really messy and situationships and this and that, and everybody gets hurt in the end. And we don't want that, okay? So we have the Six of Cups here. Also, I don't know, children might be significant. Maybe you want children or you have children or this other person has children. Also that just childlike joy. I feel like that's coming in at the end of the month for you. At the end of the month, we have on the 28th, the new moon begins Leo season. And this month can be a little emotional, I think, for some people. But I feel like it's going to be some hard emotions, and then it's going to be some really like romantic, like cozy emotions. And then you're going to roll into Leo season like on fire, just so happy. Like, oh, I did it. I feel like breath of fresh air. Okay, Divine Masculine. So that's only if you can take the action, though. Don't pause on taking the action. If you want this, go for it, okay? Because the longer you stall out, the more pain you're creating for yourself and potentially another person as well. So I love all of you. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, some of you, if you're still with third parties, you better run from them as fast as possible. If you know someone's not your lover and they're lying and they're shady, you better get out, okay? You better run, because if you don't do that now, that's not how the rest of your month is going to go. I'm talking about a conscious connection, two woke spiritual people. None of this bullshit, okay? I love you guys.